Okay, dears, let's learn report writing in this class. Report writing means newspaper report writing, and let's see what are the things we should have to care while we are writing newspaper reports. A newspaper report is a fact based story on a particular event or incident happening or happened. So, we all know what is a report. A report is reporting something which has happened or which is happening at the same time. And a newspaper report. A newspaper reporter is reporting a news that has happened already. So here it is a fact based story, and we all know the fact that newspaper reports should be fact based story. Facts should be reported by a newspaper reporter. News report gives all the information about incidents that already happened or currently taking place, along with covering answers of 5 W's and 1 H. That is, we already know this, that is what, where, when, who, why, and how. These are 5 W's and 1 H. That is, the news report gives all the information about the incident. That is, by reading the news report, the readers should have to understand what has happened at the place or why the reporter is reporting the news. So, the reader, it is the right of the reader to know all the 5 W's and 1 H, that is what, where, when, who, why, and how. And we have to discuss detail about these 5 W's and 1 H in another page. That is why I'm not at all dealing with these 5 W's here. Anyway, it is the right of the reader to know the thing that has happened clearly and accurately. So the newspaper reporter should have to give informations in support of the in in support of that. Okay. News report writing follows an inverted pyramid structure. And we know that what is an inverted pyramid structure? That is, a pyramid or a triangle is upside down. Then the pointed position or the pointed pose will be at the bottom, and the flat portion uh, will be seen above. So this is the structure of an inverted pyramid. So the first part will be more spacious. That is more spacious. That is, this contains the lead section. That is, the lead contains more informations than the other parts. Then the next part is the body part, which contains less informations than the lead, and the conclusion include the least information. The conclusion, that is, there is only a little space is there at the end or at the bottom of the inverted pyramid. So the conclusion for a news report includes least information. There's a very few informations are there in the conclusion part or in the last part of a news report. So according to this, the most important part is the lead part, that is the first part of a of an inverted pyramid structure, and next is the body part, and the last is the least informative part, that is the conclusion part. Then let's look into the elements of a newspaper report. So, what are the elements of a newspaper report? The basic standard structure of a news report must be followed in order to write a good news report. So, in order to write a good news report, a newspaper report, we should have to, or a writer should have to follow certain things. That is, they that is the news reports should include the elements such as a headline. A headline is a very important thing regarding a newspaper report. It is the title of the report. We know that headline is very important, and some people, more often, uh, most of the people are reading only headlines of a newspaper. So headlines should be there for a newspaper report, and it's very important, and it should catch the attention of the readers. Only by reading, that is, most of the people are reading news reports by reading the headlines. So the headlines should be so catchy and so attractive, and it should provoke the readers to read the whole news report. So it's very important. And the title should not be too long. That is, a title should not be of a paragraph, and it should be crispy, but it should be attractive, and it should gather the attention of the reader. And the second one is byline. It involves the name of the author. After the headline, there is the name of the author. And sometimes we can see that some people, that is, are writing their own names after the headline. The name of the author or the name of the reporter will be there immediately after the headline. And lead, and the next part is lead includes, and we know lead is the most important part of a newspaper report, and it comes first. Okay, we already know, in the last page we have discussed it in detail. Anyway, lead includes the most important points of the report. It's the most important part of a newspaper report. So it includes, that is, after the headline and the byline. Byline means the name of the author. The lead comes. Then the body. Body is less important than a lead. And in body, more detailed information is given about the lead. So lead is very crispy, but body is elaborating the lead. And conclusion. The conclusion is the ending paragraph of the report. And we have already said about the 5 W's and 1 H that is happening, or they are very important regarding a newspaper report. And while the newspaper reporter is reporting a news, he should have to answer all these 5 W's and 1 H. And let's see, or let's go through these 5 W's and 1 H in detail. And the 5 W's, what is meant by 5 W's? And 5 W's are what, where, when, who, why, and how. And what is 1 H? H means how. Okay. So anyway, let's see, or let's look into detail what are the importance of these 5 W's and 1 H in newspaper reporting. And first one, what? What is the first W? What involves the event or incident? What happened? Okay, so the newspaper should have to report what happened. Okay, suppose a murder is being happened, and the reporter has to report what happened, and the readers should have to understand what has happened at that place or at that time. And the second one is when, involves the date and time. So the newspaper reporters should have to mention the date and time very precisely. So because they are very important regarding a newspaper report. So when is very important. Then the third one is where. Where involves the places and venue. Where did the thing or where did the action happen, or what that is, we already said about what happened and when it had happened, and now where it has happened is very important, the place or the venue of the incident. And the reader should have to understand where did the thing or the action or the murder or whatever maybe it is has happened. And the fourth one is why involves the reason for the event. So sometimes the newspaper reporter cannot write a why, but he can assume certain things, or he can conclude certain things from the circumstantial evidences. So why this thing is happening is very important for a newspaper report. And who mentioned to tell about the people involved. Who, that is, you can mention the name of a person who has done the action, or you can mention the names of victims. Okay, in the case of a murder, the person who was killed is the uh, person who was killed. The person who was killed is the person who has done the action. But in most cases, in most murder cases, the newspaper reporter cannot assume, cannot find out the murderer or the person who has committed the murder. Anyway, he can include the names of the witnesses or the victims also. Then who is also very important regarding a newspaper report, because the readers are always very much anticipated regarding the names. The names are very important regarding a newspaper report, and it includes, or it enhances the credibility of the report. Then, how was the incident? Was it very pathetic, or was it very brutal? Or he can describe the manner in which the incident has happened. Okay, then these are the 5 W's and 1 H in a newspaper report. Okay, I think you have understood what is meant by newspaper report and how the newspaper report is being made. And please do comment on this video. And if you have any doubt, don't hesitate to ask me. So watch this video very well, and prepare notes of yourself. Thank you. This is Radhika.